Right then, this is a quick walk around video, and this is for a Lexus CT200 Premier. The car's covered just 54,000 miles, has a full Lexus service history, and is in absolutely beautiful condition. Finished in silver with a black leather interior, facelift model as you can see here, with the new style front grille, which looks absolutely fantastic on the car. But I doubt you'll see one as nice as this probably anywhere. It's simply lovely. Front of the car, very clean. Lights and lenses are clear, cracks condensation. Bonnet, exceptionally clean. Can't see a stone chip with any note on there. I do apologise, it's just starting to sort of sprinkle with rain, but given how clean the car is, it's not going to make a huge amount of difference. I'll go around the car as I always do. It's just been washed off. It's not been polished, but it's got a really natural sort of crisp, clean edge to the car, which only the nicest examples get. You know, it's still got to pinch yourself. It's 9 years old, but it kept so well. Offside the car, again, beautifully smooth. I'm sure there must be a blemish somewhere. I can't really spot one, I'm going to be honest with you. But you know, for a 9-year-old car, as I said, that is in truly exceptional condition. Let's come into the boot area now. As you expect, the Lexus, beautifully finished. Load liner, factory fitted one in there, space saver wheel, multi-inflation kit, and the carpeted area underneath looks like new. Let's come into the back of the car now. Full black leather interior, as I said, and it's been kept in simply beautiful condition. Come to the front again, really clean and tidy. Passenger seat there, given virtually no use at all. Only coming on the driver's side, door card lovely and clean. Some of the footwell areas, the driver's seat, again in lovely condition. Only a tiniest bit of wear as you slide in and out in the bolster, but next to nothing in all honesty. So inside the car, and what a wonderful interior it is. Always maintain these, are one of my favourite cars inside. You can see that sat nav working exactly as it should. Just pop the car into reverse, you can see the rear parking camera again working likewise. Come down the dash, centre console there, just looks absolutely fantastic. Mark Levinson stereo, heated seats, all looks fantastic. And across the main dash binnacle, again just so simple but just so nicely laid out. Hopefully you can see 54,547 miles, and that's the dash display you get in eco and normal mode. Quick turn of the gear, the knob there to the right, and then you get the sport mode, and so you get a red background with the rev counter. Really nicely done. Finally, just to show you, owner's manual pack and lock and wheel nut key, all here and present with the car. Right then, this is a quick road test video, and this is for a Lexus CT200 hybrid, and it's the Premier model. Car's registered YT64AAK with a mileage of 54,547 recorded. As always, the reason we do these videos is very simple indeed. It's to ensure that if anyone's looking at the car in an advert online, they get to see the actual car in the adverts in operation. The reason we feel it's important is because, you know, like a lot of people out there, we've been to see plenty of cars which have looked absolutely fine and dandy in photographs or descriptions, but then gone in them, driven them, and found there's an obvious fault that shows up as soon as you drive the car. And so that is why we do it. We also do them on these very quiet country roads in this simply beautiful part of Gloucestershire where we're based. And this actually forms part of the road test route we take our customers on. The theory being that it'll be representative of what you'd feel yourself should you be offered a test drive in the car. So coming to the car, as I hope you know by now that the car has a full Lexus service history, and it is immediately obvious when you drive the car because it is so tight and solid in every way. So I'm going to go through the car as I always do, press a button for the start the car, put it into whirs generally silently into life. There are no warning lights on the dashboard at all relating to the engine or any other part of the car. These are what Lexus grandly refer to, and rightly so, as a self-charging hybrid. Basically, what they're trying to say is you don't need to plug it in. You're not going to run low on battery and you need to charge yourself up and you're stranded by the side of the road wondering where you can get a plug from somewhere. But you drive, own and run the car like a normal petrol car. It is no more complicated than that. So when you get low on fuel, you're going to stand at a pump for 2 minutes, fill up with fuel, go in, buy a Mars bar, your fuel, and off you go again. And that's it. It's joyful ownership. The batteries are relatively small in the cars. They're only there to kind of maximise the car in terms of performance and economy, which it does a brilliant job of, and to replenish or recoup the wasted energy you get when you hit the brake pedal on a car. Because generally speaking, every time you hit the brake, you're wasting the energy that got you there in the first place. But in this car, when you hit the brakes, it's putting power back into the battery, and then it's used again later. So it's very, very, very clever indeed. But what's clever, or even more clever, is the way that the whole system operates, because it is like witchcraft. It's unbelievably clever. It is completely seamless in the way it operates. You can have a screen up here which is telling you what's happening at any given time. We've got it on the screen at the moment. It's rather, it's a nice little graphic on the car. But the interaction is simply genius. And when it's combined with the CVT gearbox, it makes the whole driving sensation, and I use the word carefully, sort of seamless, because it really is. At low speed, it feels like you are driving an electric car. It's got that lovely kind of smooth, effortless change of direction, pull away. There's no thumping or clunking in and out of gears. It is brilliant, absolutely brilliant. It also, by the way, gives you 3 different engine modes to operate in. You've got Eco, Normal and Sport. So, it doesn't take a brain surgeon to work out what they mean, but, little button here, if I twist it to the left, I'm now in Eco mode. Throttle response does seem slightly duller. You put your foot down, it's not quite so quick to respond. But when you go into Normal, it peps up slightly, and in both those modes you have this eco meter and a blue hue behind the dashboard. If I switch to the right, I've now got a red backlighting, rev counter suddenly magically appears, and the throttle response is noticeably quicker. It's fantastic, it really is. It runs through, as I say, a CVT gearbox, which basically means you've got no gears. It's just completely seamless in terms of how it picks up its speed. There are utter buffoons on the internet that seem to think, they deride sometimes CVT gearboxes, forgetting that for 99% of the driving, they are infinitely better to use than a conventional gearbox. What they tend to pick up on is the fact that because with a normal gearbox, the revs go up, and each time they change gear, the revs go down. So you become accustomed to that kind of revs going up, revs going down, revs going up, revs going down. It's what we've become used to it for many years. The CVT will operate in the most economical, though the most efficient way that's possible to use the gears. But what it means is, if, let's say, for sake of argument, I had to zip by a tractor now, I'll put my foot down, the revs go up, but it holds the revs, and then you back off the throttle when you get to the speed, or you've done your manoeuvre, and it all settles down again. But that really is slip roads on motorways, odd overtake. That's how it's meant to be, and it's brilliant, because all other times it's so serene and so smooth. It's wonderful. Steering and chassis of the car, by the way, steering brilliant in these cars. It tracks dead straight. There's no vibrations at this speed or any speed up to the legal limit. But I've always said I've loved the steering on these. It's got a really positive front end on the car. It's very keen to change direction. It's really nicely weighted and accurate. It's a very, very well set up system, I have to say. And it works beautifully with the chassis, because the chassis can cope. You go through the corners, it's actually good fun to drive. It's got a real verve and spirit about the chassis, but it still allows for a compliant, controlled, comfortable ride. She can cope with pretty much all imperfections, apart from, you know, the hardest and sharpest of ridges, which would catch out any car. Incidentally, no rattles, no clonks, nothing for the suspension at all, and the brakes, lovely powerful brake pedal on the car. Again, no pulsing or vibrations coming back through the brake pedal. Finally coming inside, and I often salivate at this moment because I think this is one of the best interiors you're going to sit in pretty much any car, because it's got the perfect driving position. You've got obviously a multitude of adjustments you can make, but it's just the whole feel inside the car. First of all, you know you're in something of very high quality. The materials are top notch, lovely feel to the whole thing, and beautifully put together. But this whole dash design that is genuinely like a cockpit feel, whereas, as I say in lots of videos, lots of manufacturers claim, you know, it's, you know, the same thing, but you're basically just sitting in a, you know, part of a sort of template for other designs. This really does look sensational in here, and it feels special. The detailing, the labelling, all make it feel that way. Sat nav working perfectly, dual zone climate control working perfectly, blowing out ice cold air, heated seats likewise. Mark Levinson stereo is astonishingly good, as they always are. The dash binnacle is lovely to look at, interesting to look at, but works brilliantly in the way it imparts its information. And then you've got this lovely leather-bound steering wheel, which, like the rest of the interior, is in stunning condition. This is a wonderful example, really is. And whoever gets it next will have a mighty fine car indeed, because I can't fault it in any way.